Boyz coming at you again.
Welcome to the first episode of DemBoyz Talks. It's Jay Noon, and we're coming back at you again. As always, this isn't just a one-man show, so can everybody introduce themselves? The boys?
Hello, it's Dill Pickles.
This is King Bob.
The axolotl, the human bottle.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So today we're going to actually do a movie review for Nope, and we're going to be discussing a lot of the plots and themes and characters from the movie. So just want to give you guys a heads up. It's a spoiler alert. So if you guys haven't watched it yet and you guys want to just make sure you watch it first and then come check us out, then please shut us off now. But if you don't care about spoilers, then feel free to listen because we'd love to have you here. All right. So what did you guys think of the movie?
Pretty good. First impressions, pretty good. This is our second time watching it.
Yeah, so Axolotl, Dill, and I, this is our second time watching it. I just remember Axel saying just as good the second time, better the second time.
Oh, like a fine wine.
Like a fine wine.
That week aged it plenty.
Definitely liked it more the second time.
So you got to because you understood what was happening.
Yes.
You could be okay. I see what. Yeah.
I was like, I think when the movie first opened up, when we first watched it, I was like, what is
going on?
What is this? What am I seeing?
Yeah.
There was a lot of just random shapes and imagery.
Yeah, and like I couldn't really appreciate what was going on.
Yeah.
Like I was just trying to understand where it was, like all these questions that were happening.
Yeah.
And then you watch it the second time, you could just, it's a free flow. It's like, he goes to the ranch.
Okay.
You got all that already. It's already like ingrained in you.
I think I'm in that first phase because I only watched. I'm still in the what's going on?
Yeah.
Especially
jellyfish in the sky.
Jellyfish in the sky.
What song is that?
It's the
Reading Rainbow. Yeah.
Oh, what the heck?
Butterflies though. It's different animal.
But I think it's funny because like it's the first when they're putting the names of the cast members.
Yeah.
And like they're showing this little weird object. Yeah. At first you don't know what it is, but then you realize it's the mouth of the alien, the creature.
At the end of the movie I realized that. But at first when I was first watching it, and after like I was like, I thought it was the meat, like a meat factory. The drapes. I was like, why are they showing this? And then at the end of the movie when they show the ribbons, I'm like, we're inside the mouth.
It makes sense.
What's it called? Toward the end of that like zoom from inside the mouth, you saw like the screen of the movie clip of the jockey riding the horse. So I thought it was like, in those old school cameras they'd have the drapes like to block out the sunlight. I thought it was like thought it was like the meat drapes. I thought it was like to cover the lighting.
Interesting. Very interesting.
That's actually that's good. Because if you think about it, they're filming the first jockey.
Like old school.
That's actually very interesting, John.
That's
because I know
Axolotl, by the way.
Axolotl. Sorry. Redact that. I can bleep that out.
Yeah, get that.
I mean, it's such a common name.
That's actually perfect. That's
John
perfect.
Smith?
Yeah, John Smith, John Snow.
John Doe.
John Doe. Oh, I think it's Jane Doe.
No, John Doe and Jane Doe. It's the
yeah. Oh, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Dill Pickles was actually going to go through the synopsis, so maybe we'll start with that. So tell the viewers what Nope is and what it's about.
No problem. So Nope is the third film by director Jordan Peele and stars Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, and Stephen Yeun. In this science fiction horror film, two siblings and a tech salesman attempt to capture evidence of a UFO. However, in typical Peele fashion, things aren't that simple.
Of course.
Damn. Can we just get a credits on that synopsis, please?
It's Dill.
Is it Wikipedia?
Pickles.
No,
That was Dill. That was
Dill.
That was Dill.
That was him?
That was
That
all
Dill
Dill.
Pickle,
Man, that was Dill.
That was
just
all
5 minutes ago too, bro.
You wrote that?
With some splicing, yeah.
Oh, a little bit of
A little bit
splicing.
of, paraphrasing.
See, listen. We got some talented members of our group right here. And I just gotta say that was an amazing synopsis.
That was really good.
But again, you can't give a.
You can't.
This guy's film is just too.
Yeah, you can't give a clear. Even from the trailers, I was like.
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, what is this really about?
You don't really know what's going on just from the trailer. I think certain things. Obviously, it's a UFO.
I had a theory from the early trailers that was just like way off.
Way off. I can't blame you.
Completely different.
The only thing I think when the like teaser that when I forgot what movie I went to go see, but a long time ago when they showed like the 2-second thing of them just saying nope, and they showed the title card, I was like, oh, it's a. I from that early memory, because I usually close my eyes the moment I see like if it says Jordan Peele or
yeah.
So from my initial reaction, it was like I saw the ranch, and then I think it was Kiki in her like just doing the like a quick shot of when she was doing her little thing, and that was it. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know what this is. So
yeah.
And then I think more as the
trailer came out,
the trailers and stuff were coming out, and people were kind of discussing that it's going to be a sci-fi thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was going to be an alien movie. I didn't.
Yeah. From the trailer, they gave off the vibe that they made it intentionally seem like it was aliens.
Yeah.
And then it technically is like it wasn't like they weren't lying, but it wasn't this stereotypical little Martian green-headed. In fact, they make fun of that.
And they make fun of it. Axolotl was pinching my arm. Doing now.
Yo, when those kids came out,
it was freaky. It was
in the first one.
Yeah, the first time
it was freaky.
Because the initial,
you expect him not to put some obvious aliens. So all of a sudden you're like, just obvious ass aliens.
But when
bro.
the second one came, that's when he was like, whoa.
Oh,
Yo, when they started leading, around it.
The synchronized lean.
Yeah, dude.
That's funny.
That stuff was shit was freaky.
Was that the first time you said nope to in the movie?
Yeah, that was the first time.
I low key wanted it really to be like him doing like a straight like taking the fact that like it is a direct like he's gonna do aliens. That's it.
Just
I thought it would be really funny.
The typical green Martian with the big eyes.
But then, so in the movie, when we were watching, I was like, oh, so it's not gonna be like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is weird. And then I think we were just like little quips at each other while we were watching. We're like, what the? It looked like a hat. We're like, what is going on?
It was like. Dill turned to me. He said, "Is that a hat?"
Because you know at the beginning of the movie when his dad dies and the hat flies.
Hat fell. Yeah.
And I'm like. My brain immediately took that image and I associated it when I saw it the first time. I'm like, oh, it's a hat.
Yeah.
And it flies like a hat. So
it does. It does. In fact, Axolotl brought up a really good point about the drapes, like filming the jockey. We're going into themes right now, but the whole theme of making profit out of a spectacle, making a spectacle out of a tragedy. And then making profit out of it, and it like watching it again, the alien thing kind of looked like a camera, and it was like it's funny because we're not supposed to look at it because it will act up and eat you, but it looks like it's filming you.
Damn.
It's a social commentary on everybody always taking photos and videos. I don't know.
No.
TMZ
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Where's your camera, bro? Your phone? Where's your phone, bro?
I turned to you at the end when we left. We're all leaving. I think when we were all in the car, I was like, I don't get the ribbon thing on its face. I'm trying to picture that and understand what was going on. Why did they choose ribbons for its mouth?
Right.
But the fact that it looks kind of more like a camera.
Exactly.
Thing, that would make more sense.
Yeah. Right.
I like that definition, so I probably associate that with it.
Yeah.
And the main character avoids the spotlight.
Right.
He likes to avoid the spotlight.
Right.
It's funny. It's probably a sequel to Get Out.
Yeah, low key. He's like, this is some crazy. I gotta move to Cowboy Town and get out of here. Yeah.
And then the same thing.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I definitely think when John said that, it made me realize that. Whoa. Yeah. It looks like an old school camera just shooting, and it kind of sounds like a camera. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Interesting.
Damn.
Interesting.
You hit it.
Damn.
Yeah. But then, good job, Axolotl.
Yeah.
But that was like based off what you said. That's crazy.
I'm glad you ran with it, bro.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. Yeah.
Because I haven't seen anyone discuss. Because I think I was telling you too. I'm like, no one in the movie, in the actual like the characters, didn't react to it evolving into a Digimon. Like I don't think no one like they didn't look at it and say, "Oh,
what's going on?"
Like
yeah.
It's a Gundam now. It's like, what's going on, right?
I just accepted it.
It's a blimp. It's like evolving, right? And they're just like, well, they didn't even say anything. They were just like,
it's just happening.
It's the same monster, right?
Yeah.
But it clearly evolved into something. So I would expect a reaction of them, like a Nope reaction like that again. But you don't want to keep doing this.
No.
Or them just being like, man, hell no, like something else, right?
Mm-hmm. Like reacting.
But they didn't, and I was like, no one was discussing. Even other critics weren't discussing
why it
looked the way it did
in that scene. Yeah.
It looks like a castle at one point.
Yeah, it's some
like a fun house.
It kind of looked like a hood.
Like a palace. It looked like a circus.
Yeah.
I'm like,
there's not going to be no reason for it to look like
it
that.
Definitely looks like a Digimon.
Yeah.
But I think like now that Axolotl's mentioned it, it does look like a kind of like a camera thing, and even in the beginning, the fact that it kind of looks like it's capturing the picture of the jockey riding the horse. It's interesting. Now it looks like it's a camera taking photos of people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what's interesting? What if it's like a play, like it eats people? What if it's like a play on the fact that when we're recording, I don't know, maybe when we're taking photos or recording someone, we're like taking their souls.
That's like the old. Isn't that the old like ghost?
That's an old like I think it's an old like Aboriginal First Nations idea that you're taking someone's soul when you're taking someone's picture, and so maybe it's something. Maybe it's a play on that. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
That's just a DemBoyz theory, you know.
No, that's your theory. Don't you give us that theory.
Yeah, that's my theory.
No, I get it.
But and I think what the cool thing is about his movies is he leaves it to your interpretation at certain points, right? Where I think we were discussing it when we were here that we're just talking about Get Out at one point, and the fact that someone said that when she separates the milk from her cereal, that it's like a white segregation thing, that white people want to be segregated from any other race, right? And then he heard that and he's like, that's pretty good, but I just thought she was freaking weird. That's it, right? But that's good. I like that. Right?
Yeah.
And he likes hearing people's theories. He'll shoot them down if they're like really off, right?
Yeah.
But like if they're like really interesting theories, he's like, that's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
Right? So your interpretation is
possible.
Game for anything.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
and I think he leaves it to that.
He leaves
exactly.
it open, yeah.
That's what makes Jordan Peele movies so interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're gonna continue to watch it forever, because it's so fun to just try to theorize what he's trying to do
say,
with,
yeah.
or what he's trying to say with the movie that he's making, and the plot that he has, and the characters.
Yeah.
So it's really cool, really interesting stuff.
One thing that I caught while watching it the second time was when, you know how he when the monster, the demon alien thing, you don't want to look at it because he uses his knowledge that his dad gave him about training animals and horses, and he uses that knowledge throughout the whole movie, and they give snapbacks and flashbacks and stuff to it. But then I thought about it as a theme, and I was like, okay, what could this also mean? Not because I was watching it the first time as a literal sense, and because I had no idea what was going on.
No, that's how I watched it. Yeah,
because I didn't even get the spectacle thing after I heard a review of it, and then I was like, oh, that is the main theme. And Jordan Peele, I heard him, that's his main idea of what the movie is supposed to be. That people, if there's something that's spectacle, you charge for it, and then the whole thing.
Like a tragedy.
Yeah, tragedy or whatever. And then you get the contrast of Stephen Yeun's character and Daniel Lewis.
Yeah.
But I was also looking at it, and I noticed that when the alien goes over the house the first time, the lights go out, right? And he comes back to the house, and his sister's like, oh, did you see that? And he's like, she's referring to the blackout. He's referring to the UFO that he just saw, right? And I was like, oh, the blackout, that's interesting. Wait, why does he not look up at it? And why? And I was just putting all these things together, and I realized, I was like, what if it's a play on, racism and police brutality and all this stuff, where it's like, you're told growing up to, you know, don't speak up to the man. If the police officer says, hey, what you doing? Just be like, yes, sir. You know, don't look up at it or don't even question it. Just kind of just look down and be like, yeah, and just go with the flow. And I was like, maybe that could be a thing. I just noticed it while watching it, and I was wow, that's interesting. I don't know if that's just I just noticed that.
That's interesting. Jordan Peele will have to address you one day because I have no idea.
It's a very good interpretation of it. I think, like, I've actually also I've watched a few people talk about it as, you know, the alien is the white man, and they white men are territorial and
power.
Any power.
And see,
exactly.
and the power goes out when it flies over,
Oh,
right?
shit.
So I was noticing that, and I was like, just after I was discussing it, I'm like, when this white alien thing flies over, power goes out. They call it a blackout, right? And it's like,
very
it's interesting, right?
Very good interpretation,
so like,
right?
I didn't even see a race thing in the whole movie.
But
that's
even
he does that intentionally,
right? Yeah. Even the fact that the main characters are all of color, all of color. So
Steven Yeun,
the Daniel, Kiki Palmer, even the tech support guy, right? They're all people of color, and even the floaty thingies, they're all different colors. And so it's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
very interesting.
I also noticed too when he's the main filmmaker is filming, he's a white guy. He's filming it, and then at one point he just wants to get this master shot, so he leaves the camera, and then the tech salesman takes over, and he's Latino, right? And he takes over the camera, and I'm like, oh, that's a cool little, you know, he's filming now, and it's kind of like, for me, I don't know, I noticed that, you know, more directors of different ethnicities are coming out, female directors, Korean directors, you know, it's like, I thought that was interesting. He didn't really take anything. He got blown away.
Yes.
But
he wired himself in.
He took over the shoes after this guy leaves, right? And it's like,
it's like a passing of the torch. Right? Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool too. Any other themes that you guys found in the movie, or anything you guys been interpreting?
As your first time watching it, what was your? I want to hear what you had to think.
Just a reminder, it's King Bob's first time watching it, so he might have a fresher perspective.
Yeah, my fresh opinion was, so right before this we were just going over our, you know, the little sections and the ratings, and it came to themes, and I was like, what was the theme of the movie?
But that's how I felt too.
No, me too.
Because
there's
so much going at you.
It's
you're just like,
hard to think of.
Your first thing is going to be at the face value, you know, alien movie, survive, fight it, win. But then, of course, now that you're talking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, you know.
Like for example, Get Out and Us, you can fully see the social commentary that he's trying to put forward, right? And you're like, okay, I can kind of piece it together, and you can kind of
this one you have to stretch it a little bit more.
It's because it's an alien movie. Right? And you have to go really deep into the underlying factor, but he does it in a way that, like, it's still there. Right? But it's
also a theme that he hasn't usually covered. Specifically like the
like sci-fi.
No, the what are you saying? The showmanship. What are you saying? Like the
the spectacle.
Spectacle.
The idea of a spectacle.
And that theme is that I guess.
I guess it's a theme. It's a theme.
It's not discussed a lot in movies. It's not a normal thing to, like.
So you're not trained to look for it.
Look for it, right? So that's why I didn't notice that at all.
Yeah.
Like, I just.
But it makes sense when you retrace your steps. You're like, oh, of course TMZ.
Yeah.
Like this is just of course it makes sense that they're talking about like that kind of like publicity and stuff like that. Yeah.
The TMZ thing is like the giveaway, right? It's
right. Like the whole Hollywood stuff. It's all about publicity and how it looks and stuff and. The main character is like the opposite, and he's forced to do all this stuff that he doesn't want to do. And
yeah. And his sister comes in, and she's just like,
she wants all that stuff. She wants all that stuff. Yeah.
Very interesting interpretations of the movie. I thought another cool thing was the parallels between, well, not parallels, but more just how Steven Yeun's character is different. It's different from Daniel Kaluuya's character, where Steven Yeun, he has his trauma that he pretty much has to deal with, but instead of actually dealing with the trauma, he decides to just make profit out of it, and he doesn't. So effed up. It's messed up because he watched a monkey kill the entire cast, and he's just letting people stay there for 50K or whatever.
And that woman survived.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nasty. That was
Thing.
That was nasty.
And she also came to see it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
After what she witnessed, right?
Yeah.
And that's
so
like
that goes to show
she
like
got mangled.
That's true.
And she's like, I want to see another thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, haven't you had enough?
Exactly.
You saw something murder all these people.
Exactly.
Right.
It's crazy how people are willing to risk their well-being to make profit or to see the next, crazy thing or spectacle. And that's I think that was the interesting part of this movie, was that all these people are just willing to put their lives on the line for just to see a new thing. And like Daniel Kaluuya, I feel like he had he knew how to deal with it based on all the things that he learned growing up with his dad, dealing with animals and working with animals, and he treated it like an animal. As opposed to, and he even mentioned when Steven Yeun was showing them around of the all the memorabilia for the Gordy show, he even said, and that's why they don't use chimps anymore, and that's why you don't play around with that kind of stuff, because you don't mess around with that shit, right? So it's very interesting, like very different, and I mean, in the end, Steven Yeun
played with the chimp.
He's done.
You know when Ghost is the white horse, right?
Yeah.
When he jumps out of the stable the first time, you think, because my first watching it, I thought he was just sitting there because he remembered that his dad died there, right? So he's looking. So my brain was immediately thinking, oh, he's just kind of staying there because he's remembering that. But it's weird, because why is he in the arena? Like, it's how did he get there, right? And then when he jumps over and he goes to he leaves, and then Keke Palmer is like, oh, where's he going? And he goes and he chases him, and he sees the lights. I thought that was a UFO at first.
Yeah,
but
that's what I thought too. Yeah.
It's Steven Yeun
doing a show.
To get the monster.
Yeah. Because he's been selling his horses. He's been selling his horses to him.
To do this, but you don't take that in the first time. I was like, and then the second time when watching, I'm like, they tell you that he's feeding this monster the whole time, and it's in the scene. And while watching it again, I was looking at the clouds the whole time, because that one cloud is there, right?
Yeah.
And most of the shots, it's there.
It's there.
And I'm like, what the?
That's a good whole time.
That's a good rewatch movie. Because then you know, and therefore you can keep an eye out for it.
And he tells you too. He's like, damn, for the last 6 months,
I've been staring at that
same cloud.
Yeah.
Right. So it's pretty wild.
Very wild. Very wild stuff, I'd say.
So why did the chimp attack everybody?
That's a good question. I actually still don't know.
Because of the balloon. It just went crazy. It's a wild animal.
So it's mostly because of the balloon, right? So it wasn't anything supernatural?
No,
I don't think so.
I think it just
it's a wild animal. That was just the reference point that we would have, knowing that we're dealing with a wild animal that will act up. And just because like Steven Yeun got lucky that one time doesn't mean he can do it again.
Exactly.
But taking the story that he gave for the SNL skit, and how they used it, and how taking his acting of him being like, they were phenomenal. They did a great job.
He didn't tell the real story.
He told the
comedy
version, and he was praising the actors that acted as him. And he was like, he was crushing it.
Yeah, he was like, killing
bro,
it.
This guy is.
He was killing it.
That's true.
He was killing it.
In retrospect, the acting is good. Yeah, that's crazy.
No, Steven Yeun did amazing.
The first time we're watching it, like, what is the scene? What's going on? Second time, when you're rewatching it, it's like, why he's praising this very traumatic story
that he was part of. Yeah,
but that's something that would happen.
Right.
It's not.
If you can make profit out of it, they'll do it.
They'll do it.
Yeah.
You know?
You'll just frame it as like an interesting, crazy, wacky story.
Like, I won't be surprised if
an actual tragedy.
They've reenacted the what's called the cycling bombing event in a movie.
Boston Marathon.
The Boston Marathon. They've done. What else have they done? Like, why are those movies?
Yeah.
Like, it's not even a documentary thing. It's a movie. Like.
Re-dramatized, right?
And it's like,
because they're trying to make profit off of it. That's very true.
Right?
Why are they?
That's an old example of it, right? But they're still doing stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they do like a Dave Chappelle. You know how he got jumped? They make a skit about that one day or something. Or the Will Smith slapping.
I mean, I'm sure.
Oh, that's already memed.
That's
Memes are a form of making things a spectacle. Anyway, yeah.
That's true. Memes are a modern way of making things.
Everything a spectacle. Yeah.
Bizarre, man.
Yeah. The wild animal too. The horses. Remember, it kicks out.
Yeah.
It was like.
Yeah.
Well, why did it kick out?
Because it saw.
Its own
don't look at
reflection?
it in its eye. It's like sensing aggression when you're looking at something in its eye.
Which is in line with the looking up at that. Yeah.
Taking the TMZ guy's helmet is fully reflective.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
True.
It's very interesting. But I actually like going back to Gordy and the whole monkey killing everybody. I actually did it. I thought it was related to the UFO.
No.
Like I didn't know.
Well, hold on. Why was the slipper?
Yeah, why? That's
a good question. I was gonna ask.
They don't really
connect them.
Give that, and he has the slipper in the case, and it's still straight up.
Right.
Yeah. Why is the slipper?
We don't know when this alien came to the planet.
But we also know that it has nothing to do. If it was power related, then sure. But it has nothing to do with
balloons popping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if it was there at that time, the electricity would have went off. Right?
Yeah.
That's true. Electricity was still there. That's true.
No direct relation.
Mm-hmm.
It just landed that way?
I think the relation, the shoe, I have no explanation. I think that's the relation between the Gordy event and the UFO alien is just they're animals and similar type of thing. That's the only connection with that.
Yeah.
And then the spectacle thing.
Yeah.
But the slipper, they don't give an explanation, and they zoom in. He focuses.
He focuses in on it.
Like there's a reason for the slipper. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
It's pointed up, so maybe he just attributes that to like the UFO. Animal up.
The animal up, maybe.
I don't know. That's
an interesting.
We gotta reach. I
haven't seen anyone talk about that either. Like,
but it's not even a side thing. It's like a legit zoom in.
We questioned it too, and at first I was like, I don't get the slipper thing, and usually they'll kind of give
clear hints, but
right, but
slipper.
Maybe that the monkey's a ballerina or something. I don't know, man.
If you think about how they had to film that, they had to prop up stuff.
There had to have been a reason, or maybe that itself is a spectacle.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe the slipper itself.
Maybe that represents the event.
Yeah, that it's just so weird that people are. Maybe
it also lends itself to theories, and then it becomes its own spectacle. Like they put it up in the museum.
True. Yeah. So maybe it's Jordan Peele's way of putting something weird in the movie, so that we as an audience are looking at it as a spectacle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to be like, what's that all about, right? But really, he might just be like, I just wanted to put it there because I just wanted y'all to fall into my theme, right?
Yeah.
Could be something like that.
That's better than what I could have come up with. That's
that's
one little blood drop on it, like.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you guys think Steven Yeun's character survived? I've talked about this with Dylan before.
He survived?
No. The Gordy attack.
Oh, why did he survive as a kid? Yeah. That is an excellent question. I
feel like, the logical one would be like, if you have an actual act that you perform with the monkey, it could attribute that to you. All the other characters, we don't know if they fist bumped him or high-fived him or anything. But when the monkey looks at Jupe, he sees fist bump action. Everybody else, all he remembers is a pop and aggression, and that's it. He goes wild. But with Jupe, he... Like, this is what I do when I see this kid.
He's conditioned that, when I'm trained to when I see this kid, like, I do this.
Like a dog sitting when it sees somebody or something like that.
I think, we talked about the fact that it saw, it went and it saw the film, right? And it saw him, and then it immediately saw this film thing, and it didn't do anything. I think it was because it saw its own reflection and realized that, oh my god,
what is he doing?
It saw blood on its face, and it was like, oh god. What happened? And then it looked at Steven Yeun's character, the kid version of him, and was like, "Oh, is everything okay?" He tried to fist bump him, and for approval, he was like, "Yeah, everything's good, man. Don't worry about it. Everything's good." I
did see that. Was that a reflection?
Yeah. Maybe it had to do with it couldn't get a clear look like directly in each other's eyes. You know what I mean?
Maybe it was fist bumping itself. Stretch. Well, it sees itself.
It didn't look him directly in the eyes. That's a good thing.
Right. Yeah. It's also that like all very interesting. It's like, what if it could also be that it is just an animal and that it is just conditioned to fist bump Steven Yeun. Like Axolotl said, right? It could be just a conditioned response showing that this is just an animal and we're making a spectacle out of it and we're expecting it to know exactly what to do and it won't always follow the commands that we want it to.
Take it though, it only effed up the white people.
See that's the thing, man. It's about the man.
I heard this one interpretation about the movie where it was that the alien or whatever it was just a vacuum that represented Hollywood in itself, where it just sucks up all of the creativity from everybody for its own purposes and just spits out all the nonsense it doesn't like.
That's interesting.
Good. That's pretty good.
Just like the ranch house, like there isn't much left. They were just used by Scorpion King or whatever else Hollywood needed them for. But then once CGI came out, and it's the thing, like, yo, we're good, bro. Y'all do your thing.
We got CGI.
Let's vomit on you.
Yeah.
That's very true. In fact, it's related to that. Daniel Kaluuya's character wears a crew hoodie at the end when he's battling this thing, and it could represent the filming crew or behind the scenes crew, the people who are actually working. Chris Stuckman mentioned that. Shout out to Chris Stuckman.
Wow, that's good.
Very interesting stuff. Really, really awesome. Really awesome themes. You can go on for days about the ways that we can interpret this movie.
That's with all of his movies, though, right? That's how good his movies are, and I think that's what makes him such a really good director, especially and I think for upcoming directors to learn from as well.
Right.
And that's why I realized too, and after watching Chris's review, he says that Jordan Peele turned down the Akira movie. They asked him to do the Akira movie. He's like, no. Yeah, no.
Wait, he turned down the Akira movie, and then she did the Akira motorcycle slide, bro.
Yeah.
Oh.
There it is.
What
That's the reference.
That's the reference.
What the fuck?
That's the reference.
Jordan Peele turned down an Akira movie.
What?
That's the reference. So
interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's the reference.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, that kind of came out of nowhere.
So he turned it down, and he's like, no, I'm gonna make my own. I want to do my
original
my own story.
Yeah.
My own property. Yeah. Damn.
So
I think
he paid some.
Did a really good job.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's really sick. Yeah. Honestly, speaking of the Akira motorcycle slide, I think Keke Palmer was phenomenal. She did an amazing job, and I think every time she was on screen, I loved it. I loved every time she was on screen. She took over every single time.
Yeah.
She's so funny.
What was her, other than just a comedic relief or in contrast to her brother, what was her main thematic, purpose of her character?
I think it was the growth of like her learning. Remember, she gives a story about Jean Jacket, how she never got the chance to train this horse, and she talks to a therapist saying that actually, affected her growing up, and then her brother gives her he names it Jean Jacket, the alien, and gives her the opportunity to be like, all right, you take the reins now.
Oh, I see.
It's your chance
So when she got rejected,
take it too. When the monster is about to, Daniel Kaluuya's standing in front of it, it sees Kiki and it starts following her instead of him. So it didn't kill him. It was just like, oh, it saw her instead, right? Obviously, because she's on an electric motorcycle too. He's on a horse, so it immediately gravitated towards her. So him living at the end was actually, she saved him, basically.
Yeah.
right? No, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So I think it was just like a growth in her character.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because like when that jean jacket thing happened, and then she was talking about how she talked to a therapist about it. Like for me, I don't know. Like they didn't give much context, but it leads you to assume that like once that happened, she left, and then it's just been her brother because like she could just attribute like they didn't want me there anyway. They took away the horse I was supposed to train. Yada yada. Just like kind of
found her own. She found her own thing.
Yeah. But then you know what? That is kind of running away. So when she did have the option to run away, like Daniel said, like get on the electric bike and cut. Instead, she was like, you know what? No, this time, I'm gonna stick it out. You guys were gonna train it, but I can train this way.
And he also you could see their relationship throughout the whole movie that they they're not separated. They weren't he didn't hate her or anything like that. They are really close siblings. Yeah. Even if she left and did her he still loves her as a sister and vice versa, and it's like that sibling connection is so. They did it so well in the movie. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially the scene where they're like, I told you this guy's gonna bring a knife. Like, that moment in itself, I told Jay that they reminded me of my cousins. My two cousins are very much like that. Especially the scene where they're like, she's like, I got this weed though. It's like, you should have just said that then. That they do stuff like that. So I just thought it was really cute that he embodied a brother-sister relationship. And it's like not fake. Like it looks very genuine.
It's not fake close and it's not fake like conflicting and distant.
They did. It was did a really good job with that, and especially like kudos to both of them that they it felt real. Like I didn't question the relationship at all. Like it just seemed genuine.
Daniel did a good job too.
Yeah, for sure.
Kaluuya did an amazing
job. As always.
Like it's like his character in this movie is completely different from his character in Get Out. Yeah. Like and I just think that's amazing. Like I don't know, I think it's really cool. Like some actors sometimes they play they're put in a box or they play the same role over and over and over again. They're not a different character, right?
His story is very interesting too, where he was like he would say that he would call directors and call all these people and do all this work to try and get work and nothing was happening. So at one point he was just like, you know what, I'm not gonna he just left it and he just let the work, he put what he could put out and then he let the work come to him.
That's interesting.
It's like he stopped calling people. He stopped trying to email, do all this work for no reason, because he was trying to get all these jobs and nothing was happening. And then he's just like, I'll just kind of. So you could, from all of his movies, even in Black Panther, like he is very talented. Yes, he's a very very talented actor. So
very
you see it
in this film too. Yeah. You see it in all of his films.
No, he A-list. Let's go.
Would you consider him A-list?
He's definitely. Well, I don't know. What I don't know if there's really A-list. Is that supposed to be a tier? Because to me, if you're headlining box office movies and you're in Marvel and to me you're A-list. Everybody knows. People recognize your name immediately. Then
that's true. People recognize your face.
Yeah. I don't think people recognize his name like that though.
Oh really?
Nah, I don't think.
Oh, we live in a bubble.
We live in a bubble.
Oh, okay.
I think maybe not name, but they recognize his face. Yeah. Because he's been in Get Out.
In our demographic too. Yeah. That's true. My mama don't know Daniel Kaluuya like that.
Yeah.
Everybody know Hugh Jackman though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my mom does.
He's a huge Jack man.
Because he's a huge Jack man. Yeah, exactly.
What did you guys think of the cinematography?
Oh, sick! Yeah.
What would you?
Like the lighting, the panning.
Like the choice of like it was really dark at the ranch when there's no light and stuff like that.
But you have to take in. Those are nighttime scenes.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard it is to film
get film anything? Yeah.
Like, especially with a black actor.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy killed it with the phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like you could the amount of picture that he got like from the ranch, insane, man.
Even like just the seeing the whatever you want to call it, jean jacket, the alien thing,
Yeah.
chase through the clouds.
Yeah.
Like it would show up for a little bit, and then you'd be like, where is it? And then
Terrifying.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's so much a mystery in the way that they film it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's
And
amazing.
the way that he's panning the camera,
yeah,
following it.
yeah.
But the one scene where he goes to the what's it called, the theme park thing, and he's underneath the raptors, and he's like watching it, but it's like from his back angle. That was crazy.
Yeah,
The perspective always of the underneath view of
like it's kind of like you're looking up at it,
Yeah.
you know, and the camera is following your eyes.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
yeah.
You know, you remember Invisible Man, that movie?
Yes. Yeah.
Like I read somewhere that in a lot of the scenes it would just be the girl character,
Yeah.
the protagonist.
Yeah.
And in some of the scenes he's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Some of the scenes he isn't. I got that like same feeling when you look up at the clouds.
Right.
Yes.
Like, you don't know whether or not the alien's in that cloud or not.
Yeah.
They're not.
yes,
Yeah.
You
Yes.
just have to you have this uneasy
Especially at the
Uneasy feeling.
beginning too, if you're watching it again the
for
second
the
time,
second time.
you're like, where is it?
Yeah.
What is it doing?
We got a lot of pens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then, man, yeah, it was.
Because remember
you felt constantly just.
Yeah.
at the beginning of the
on
movie
edge.
when his dad is that whole scene is happening,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, okay,
It's above.
it's here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But where and you
Where-
hear very slight screeches at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not like the moment it gets the ribbon, that's when it's effed up and it starts
Oh, it
screaming.
starts screeching. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it eats people and starts screaming.
I
right?
think, I caught this in the beginning. When he's listening to the radio,
Yeah.
they were talking about hikers that went missing in the mountains.
Yeah.
So that's why the screen was very slight. Because
Very-
only 2 hikers were in its mouth at that time.
Oh,
I think.
interesting.
True.
Very
Hot take.
The
interesting.
TMZ guy was really
And how,
loud.
and how long?
Oh yeah, that's
And how
even-
long has it been eating horses? Because then it would technically kind of, I guess, sound like a horse. No.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would start sounding like a horse.
How long has Stephen Yeun been feeding horses?
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
So
Well, the dad, he
6
wasn't
months.
selling it with his
until
dad.
his dad, and then 6 months
Yeah.
passed by, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Every Friday for 6 months.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But that
Yeah.
every Friday for 6 months, he only gave
10
he sold
10.
10 horses.
Does that make sense?
Maybe he had his own horse.
Maybe he had his own horse.
Yeah. Oh, that's why he wanted to buy more.
he
needed
wanted to buy the
more.
ranch.
He wants to buy the entire
Because-
ranch.
yeah.
That's
Mhm.
true. Yeah. That definitely cinematography was
Yeah, that's good.
spot on point.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Did exactly what it was supposed to do. Like we were meant to feel the way we were because of the way that they filmed
Right.
the movie. It's like amazing. Even night shots, like
Yeah.
Dill said.
Yeah.
Everything perfect.
Perfect.
Solid. Score. In terms of music, how do you guys feel?
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I only took in until the second time watching it. He plays I Wear My Sunglasses at Night.
Oh.
And and I realized what the meaning could have been for that.
Mhm.
Is that like, just don't look at it, man. Don't even take in. Just put your sunglasses
on
on and get out.
Yeah.
Just leave.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
definitely related
And-
to
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he put blinders on a horse. It was like a horse with blinders.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
man. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. That adds up.
Yeah.
I
So,
want my
yeah. So I thought that was in
sunglasses.
itself was really, really good. I loved their choice of Kiki's music choices when she's
Yeah,
playing, like
that
when
was-
she's
They're
in the
very
house
unique.
vibing.
I feel
Very unique.
I feel like music played a much bigger part in the movie than like.
You realize?
Yeah, just because of the way that you remember when they were plotting out the plan, they
Mhm.
used the record
Yeah.
as the alien.
Yeah.
And then when
Where it could have been a UFO
could have
Right.
representing a UFO, right?
Yeah. And then when it lifted up the roof on her, it was dropping the records that she was
Records on-
playing back on top of her.
Yeah.
Like
That's
That could
interesting.
go back into Hollywood sucking things up and spitting
it out.
Right?
Black Music Man is just taking all our shit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I feel as though maybe if I knew what the songs were actually,
Mhm.
like we could listen to it in full, like lyrics, all that
Purple
stuff.
people eater.
Purple people eater. I don't even know what that was all about. The director mentioned that, right? The white guy.
Yeah.
The white director.
The Purple People
Yeah.
Eater.
That
That
Giant
guy's a
purple
Canadian
people.
actor.
He's a Canadian actor. Really? The guy who talks like really deep.
Yeah. He's a
Ah.
Canadian actor.
What was his purpose in the movie?
I
His
think
is
he's a
capturing
true
spectacle.
artist, bro.
He's trying to capture a spectacle.
Right.
Yeah. But then the monster is also is a camera capturing him.
That's true.
Damn.
That's true. That's true, right?
Some Spider-Man shake that
What do you think of the like? What do you think he meant? Because I like the line that he said. He said, "They don't deserve the impossible." He's talking about the impossible shot because he's known to take the impossible shot. But why do you think he went up and sacrificed himself and said they don't deserve the impossible?
Because he can get it and he can die with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like I got it and I died with it. So I did, you know. And you could see during the whole movie he's fed up with.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
But then he gets this opportunity and he's like, oh, I can go out with a bang and only I can see it.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Yeah.
But
True
it
artist.
goes into true artist. Yeah. Goes into your thing with people dying for a spectacle, right?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
anything with that?
Especially the TMZ guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy creeped me out.
Was he wearing a dead mouse hat?
No, he's just wearing a helmet. Just
It looked like a dead mouse helmet, bro.
Yeah.
It was a weird ass, dead ass helmet, dead mouse helmet, looking like it's screaming and stuff. Yeah.
Like he literally was not a person, the TMZ guy.
Yeah, like in a way, because they didn't ever show the face either, right?
Yeah. He was
That's
literally just there to capture or reflect what he was around.
Yeah.
That's
Like
true.
even when he got injured, like his arm broke up. Yo, where's my camera, bro? At least record this, please.
Where's your phone? Where's your phone? Yeah.
I swear his leg was twisted too.
Yeah, like he had some serious injuries.
Yeah.
The screaming was funny though. Definitely a very comedic moment.
Yeah.
Was that that Wilhelm scream?
They did the Wilhelm scream in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did.
There
The
you
Star Wars. You know Star Wars.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a generic soundboard for screaming?
No, it's from an very old movie, and they took it and used it for Star Wars because it became really iconic in the filming industry. And then Star Wars was like kind of just kept using it, and then a bunch of movies that started.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think Indiana Jones uses it, like a bunch of
Used everywhere, bro.
everywhere.
Interesting. All right, sounds good. So the DemBoyz, we have our own little DemBoyz seal of approval thing that we give to each of the movies that we've watched. We have a silver tier and a gold tier. Anything 8 out of 10 and above, or 8 out of 10 to 9 out of 10, I guess, or anything. Yeah,
anything that's an 8 and through to like 8.
Through to 9. Yeah, 8.9. We consider a silver tier DemBoyz seal of approval, and anything above a 9 to a 10 is a gold tier seal of approval for DemBoyz. So I think the last thing we want to talk about is just general enjoyment. Like, how do we feel? What do you guys think?
Great.
Yeah.
Second time, I definitely enjoyed it way more.
Yeah.
I'm rewatching the movie in my head just by talking to you guys, and my enjoyment went up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't know. I would even give it a higher rating just talking.
Just
about
from talking about it. That's why I went back to my notes.
Went back to your notes. You changed your rating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what was your score, King Bob?
Thank you for saying my title. It was I gave it all the numbers added up, divided by 8. There's 8 categories, and I got an 8.8 is my updated.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I want to thank everybody who convinced me by discussing. That was great. That was awesome.
Convinced you?
Well, the more you discuss, the more you realize, oh, that's what that was.
That's very true.
Right? And then,
Axolotl?
My original score, I gave it an 8.6.
I think you got 8.6. Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, you keep it at 8.6?
Yeah, we're just gonna stick with that.
I don't know what would make mine an 8.8, but I'll give it an 8.8 too.
Yeah.
And mine was an 8.8 as well.
Yeah.
And if we average that out, we get an 8.7.
5.
8.75.
8.75.
So
I was like my math. Like, that's probably.
So you give it an
Closer to 8.
You give it an 8.8. Exactly. Yeah, really good. Does that get
Silver?
Yeah. Well, I guess then this movie gets the DemBoyz seal of approval.
The silver edition. Silver edition.
Don't do it.
Oh, no. Wait.
We're not supposed to finish it.
Silver edition. The silver edition.
The first silver.
Silver edition. Well, all right. Well, honestly, I think Really great job, guys. I thank you guys for coming on the show.
It's our show. It's our show.
And it's the Dem Boyfriends
Signing out.
Catch 'em again.